As you enter a weird hole in the ground, many paths lay before you, some showing unparalleled amounts of chests, sure to be filled with riches beyond expectations, and the other lays horrific traps, rivaled to be of the lands of the lovely labyrinth. Which way do you go? Well, if you assume the chest would be easy pickings, let me introduce you to my silly friends. The Mimighouls, chest-dwelling goblins who welcome adventurers into their trap by appearing as incredible loot. But as a Mimighoul gal myself, I guess I'll introduce you to what powers they can hide behind their lock and key. Is that good? Can I sign up for Konami now as like one of the representatives? I will solely talk about Mimighoul on stream, but like that's besides the point. Alright, this is the Mimighoul guide, by the way. Let's talk about the main face of the deck, and also the main firepower. Dragon here has good few effects. Main effect is, when it's normal or special summoned, it can search a Mimighoul spell or trap. I'll show you what these all do later on down in the video. You see them in the background, so don't worry. But just understand this is how you will either start or extend many combo lines, is through Dragon. Along with this, he also gets to introduce us to the level 1 mechanic of the deck, which is they are all flip monsters. All of them have the thing where you can summon them to your opponent's field, and when they're flipped face up, they go back to your field with a bonus effect. Dragon's one is destroy all face-up monsters you control except Mimighouls, which is incredibly good. Of course, he also is the main piece to like a bunch of stuff. He's either going to be grabbing you all your stuff, or he's going to be blowing up your field. Basic stuff. Archfiend, if it's the main phase, you get to flip him up. Your opponent draws one, send one card from your hand to the grave, give control of this card to your opponent. To understand it like this, basically I'm going to refer to these from now on as the activator and the other player. That way you can understand that like it's your opponent activating this flip effect, not you. You can also see why Dragon likes him a lot, because during your main phase, if you use normal special to your field, change one face down monster on the field to face up attack or defense. This is extremely pivotal with Dragon going second, because Dragon just becomes Raigeki at that point. We also have one more level 1 in the first wave. It's just Cerberus. Cerberus doesn't really do too much, and you won't really see it be played in modern builds now because of the second wave. What you will see Cerberus do is it will banish the top 3 cards of the activator's deck, then they will summon one of their banished monsters along with Cerberus to the other player's field. And while Cerberus is face up on your field, your opponent cannot target face-up spells you control with card effects. This stops Cosmic Cyclone and stuff like that, but unfortunately, Cerberus doesn't really have a way to cheat himself out other than being flipped up by your opponent. And then finally, of the main first wave, at least, of monsters, we have the main dog himself, the one who is him. Skull Servant's second best imitation, Mimighoul Master. Oh man, this guy does a lot, and he's the only level 4 in the deck, so we get to talk about a lot with him. Basically, big guy cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while you control a Mimighoul monster or monsters, or if your opponent controls a face-down monster. And if he's normal or special summoned, he gets to add a Mimighoul monster from your deck to your hand, except himself. And finally, during the opponent's main phase, quick effect, change one face-down monster on the field to face-up attack or defense. Your choice. He is like A1 of in the deck at minimum, and at best, you will see maybe 2. Alright, let's talk about the Wave 2 cards. Mimighoul Armor. Armor, when flipped up, makes Mimighoul monsters unable to be destroyed by battle, but now for the bonus effect, the wave gets a new thing other than the when normal or special summoned clause. They all get their own Cyber Dragon way of summoning to your field. For Armor, if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card face up to your field. As everyone can kind of piece together, Armor is not really useful with his flip effect in modern day. Being able to not be destroyed by battle is not really going to come up too much, but what he is good at is being just a fucking body, and you will need those bodies. Mimighoul Fairy, the girlfriend to Mimighoul Archfiend, as seen in the artwork of Mimighoul Charm. I'm only bringing up Mimighoul Charm right now because I'm going to save you all the fucking headache of reading this card and getting upset that they fucking designed this thing. Mostly because it's dog shit. But what Fairy actually does is, when flipped, this turn you can activate the effects of monsters special summoned from your hand as the activator, which means things like Poplar, Ash, Oak, stuff like that that get summoned from hand, cannot go off. And if you control a Mimighoul, you can summon her to your field. She is technically the second best level 1 in the deck now, just because of how easy it is for her to use her effect. Her flip is like technically niche and like will only come up sometimes, but for the formats where it comes up, it is a really good card. Finally, we got Mimighoul Slime. He's a little sluggy boy. He's a little slubby guy. He is my dad. The activator's opponent can switch somebody Mimighoul from deck to field, perfect for extending through basically anything. Even letting you summon Master if Throne does not resolve. We'll talk about Throne. And the main effect is if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can summon this card from your hand. The perfect side draw card, but for level 1s. Before we talk about the spell and traps, we'll talk about the 2 extra deck cards, specifically Mimighoul Throne. Mimighoul Throne, detach 1 material from this card, so summon a Mimighoul Master from your hand, deck, or grave. Fucking beautiful. This literally saves a lot of lines that you had to previously do in just wave 1 version of the deck, that now Throne just needs 2 level 1 bodies, slap down Master. But he also does something else while he's still on the field. During the main phase, you can quick effect, target 1 Mimighoul Master you control, equip this card as an equip spell to it, and give it 1000 attack. Then, return cards to the field to the hand up to the number of materials Throne had when it was equipped. You can only use 1 Mimighoul Throne effect per turn, and only once that turn. Holy moly, Throne is like, by itself, this would cause the deck to be extremely playable, but we do have one more name. Finally, Giant Mimighoul. Giant Mimighoul, your non-Xyz Mimighoul monsters can attack directly while your opponent controls a face-down monster, but you can only use the following effects of Giant Mimighoul once per turn. If this card is Xyz summoned, add 1 Mimighoul card from your deck to your hand, then, in a new chain, you can detach 1 material from this card, then target face-up cards on the field up to the number of face-down monsters your opponent controls, and blow them up. If you do, inflict 1000 damage to your opponent for each card destroyed. Holy fuck. Giant Mimighoul is amazing. It is your starter, it is an extender, it is your finisher, it is your battle phase trick, it is everything. The only downside to Giant Mimighoul is it is the greatest Ash, Veiler, Imperm, Mourner target. Thankfully, you can stop one of those 4 by just putting a face-down card on the field. Alright, let's talk about the spells and traps now. You can see I've cut 1 spell off to the side. That's mostly because I want to talk about that one first. This is also the point where I stopped writing a script. So, Mimighoul Fork. Target 1 face-down monster your opponent controls. Then, your opponent chooses one of the following effects and apply that effect. Chooses to face-up attack or defense, or into the grave, and the owner draws 2 cards. It is a card I can see playing at 1. It also has the ability to like banish the same card from your grave, add the same Mimighoul Fork from your deck to your hand. I'm gonna be honest, I don't see a reason to play the second effect. Having more than one of this card sounds bad, and you just kind of are never gonna see the face-up attack or defense positioning card as part of this effect, because it's like, why give your opponent a free body? But you do get a free draw 2 out of it regardless. So, no matter what happens here, you are technically plussing if it is your monster. Mimighoul Maker. Mimighoul Maker lets you reveal 2 flip monsters with different names from your deck. Opponent randomly picks 1 to special summon to their field face down. The other goes to your hand. Then you get to special summon a Mimighoul monster from your hand. If your opponent summons a monster, except during damage step, banish this card from grave, target 1 face down monster your opponent controls, change it to face up attack or defense. Can only use 1 effect per turn. So, using Maker, grabbing Dragon and Archfiend. If you get Dragon, you just search Dungeon, which we'll get to, and just kind of plus off from there. Or, if you get Archfiend, summon Archfiend, flip up Dragon. Now you have 2 level 1s on your field, and you can go into Giant Mimighoul and get Dungeon from there. Speaking of Dungeon, Mimighoul monsters you control that were not normal or special this turn gain attack equal to the original defense. Any player who controls a face-down monster cannot normal summon monsters, nor declare attack with monsters that were special summoned this turn. And, during your main phase, you can add 1 Mimighoul monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can only use the effect of Mimighoul Dungeon once per turn. Holy moly, is this card like the best card in the deck. What Dungeon does is it initiates a normal summon lock, which shuts down Flu. What's Flu gonna do about this card? Flip up your monster? I don't fucking think so. But yeah, like, Mimighoul Dungeon is just going to shatter a lot of decks that were normal summon reliant. Ice Barrier really can't do much unless they flip up their monster. By itself is already a really bad thing to do, because you have cards that just make the activator discard, make the activator not able to activate effects from hand, summon a free body, blow up their field. We don't talk about armor. Like, all these effects are good, but when you have a deck that just special summons anyway, like Snake Eyes, gets a little bit more troublesome. Can't do a lot with this deck still. And finally, we have the best card in the deck, Mimighoul Room. Special summon 1 Mimighoul monster from your hand or deck to your field, or face down on your opponent's field. Then change 1 face-up monster to the field to face down. Banish the card, then target any number of Mimighouls you control, return them to the hand. Only use 1 Mimighoul Room effect per turn. Only once that turn. What this did before was this was your way to get to Master. What Dungeon does is now mix Master from an 1800 body to a 3k body. So keep that in mind when you're looking at all these stats, is they are gaining also their defense. Let's show off some deck lists. Those are the fun parts. We'll show off Pure, and then we'll show off Snake Eyes. Both are incredibly good decks. And here we have Mimighoul Pure. What Mimighoul Pure's main goal is to do is make Master, Throne, IP pass. That doesn't sound good, and you'd be right, but like, you're just using the Mimighouls as like a very good way to make everything happen. Like, you have Master, you're not playing many Archfiends, This is how a modern pure build would go. Obviously, we have all of the like the generic stuff you expect to see in here, like the tactics, the Ash, the Shifter, the Mourner, the Veiler, the Imperms, all the stuff that's generic that you should expect. Extra deck, not really anything to talk about. But yeah, this is just like the fun stuff about the deck. This is like generic good stuff. Not really much I should talk about. I already talked about all the cool cards that you're actually gonna be playing. Everything else in here is just kind of like expected. All right, let's talk about Snake Eyes. That's like a little bit more interesting on how plays are gonna go. Snake Eyes actually is like a different way to start off combos, thanks to the beautiful witch up there. Making Ash into Poplar, going into this Flamberge with Oak, doing the basic line until you get to IP, summon back to 2 bodies. Instead of linking off into any Fingsmith line he normally did, instead you're using the 2 bodies to rank up into Giant Mimighoul. Giant Mimighoul is now going to be your activator to get all your plays like Mimighoul Maker online. Mimighoul Maker, grab your Archfiend Dragon, summon one of them, summon the other, grab Throne, grab Master, have the same field again. But now you have Giant on field too. Incredibly good. I guess I might as well show off what a Snake Eyes deck can do of this and just show off like my basic testing of the deck. All right, here's Mimighoul Pure versus Mimighoul Snake Eyes. Here's why the Snake Eyes package is extremely good, but also is kind of a hindrance at some points. So everything was some Ash. Ash got Poplar. Poplar effect, summon itself out. Poplar, search OSS. OSS, grab Oak. Poplar, put itself on the throne. Grab Flamberge. Flamberge, make IP. IP, bring back 2 bodies, go into Giant. Giant, search Dungeon. Dungeon, search Fairy. Fairy effect. Was not supposed to do that there, but we'll summon 2 onto their field. Pass. We'll start Shifter. Hilarious. Terraforming, grab Dungeon. Dungeon effect, grab their own dragon. They cannot normal summon, so we'll room, summon Master. Master, grab dragon for next turn. Dragon effect, flip up Fairy. Fairy effect. Dragon will summon to our field. Maker will grab us a body, they'll summon Master. They'll draw 2, dragon effect, search Charm. This is why Charm sucks. IP, link into Goddess. Charm, Fairy, Slime, Giant, grab their own room. Set 1, Goddess, make Nibiru, big ass token. Pass, connect to us, Dungeon, grab Slime. Maybe 2 for the other Nibiru. Summon the 2 to their field, set Nibiru in defense. Pass. Room will set it. We'll get a guy face down. They'll summon Archfiend. Grab Dragon, we'll grab our own room. They'll summon Archfiend, flip up our Dragon. Charm, will grab them a Zeus. Just a big body. They'll make a Giant again. They'll grab a card. Wanted, grab Big Girl. Wanted, put back that, grab Bonfire, grab Dragon. Nibiru, Dragon, grab a 3rd room. Relinquish into SP, banish to Zeus, pass. Cerberus, banish these 2. Cerberus goes to our field. They'll get Archfiend. Archfiend, summon to our field. Summon Master, grab Slime. Slime come to our field. Or to their field. Pass. We'll room, we'll grab Archfiend, we'll flip it face down. Flip up room, we'll grab our own guy. Nibiru back to our hand. Dungeon, grab Slime. Master, Archfiend. They're just grabbing all the cards out of our extra deck. It's really annoying, but like that's all it is. Here I thought Typhon would activate, but I forgot it does not actually normally normal summon the card. It just does a special summon. So it's still not Xyz, so it means the effect is worthless. Archfiend on their field, Giant. Try to target Master, did not work because I forgot my own card effects. Windwood. Beautiful Girl comes back, grab the 2 bodies. Set 1, summon back Ash. Blow up the girl again, blow up my SP. Summon Archfiend, I get it back. They grab Dragon. Summon Dragon to our field. Summon Archfiend, flip him up. Everybody gets blown up, but I get to set Flamberge again. Mourner. Slime comes back to our field. Pass. Wanted, grab back our own Diabell. Diabell. This is how we're just going to actively just be playing the deck. Dragon, grab back another Dungeon, because we're out of cards at this point. They're drolling, but we're gianting. We're just going to blow up their field. Set this down. Set 1, pass. Wanted, grab another Diabell. Room, put throwing back. which bring back 2 more bodies. Dungeon, grab dragon. Diabell, dragon, make another boy. Wanted, got Ash. Ooh, we are vibing the fuck out now. Ash shuts them up, and that's it. That game was like 30 minutes, by the way. Should you play Mimighouls? Yeah!